All right, what's the symbol? C?
King, David, Yellow, Nancy.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, Nancy Yellow. King, David, Nancy Yellow. I am coming in.
Nancy.
That's 100 ticks from that short. Damn it.
All right. Chinook Therapeutics. $20 stock. All right. It's moving up. It's actually, the chart is looking pretty strong.
Got a brand new position.
Nice pullback here.
Now, granted, when you see a guy buy a position for the first time, always look to check, is he a new CEO? A lot of times they do that. A new officer in the company will buy stock to show solidarity. Keep that in mind. That's a qualifier for you.
Yeah.
Something I always look at.
I'll write that down. KDNY. Now, I've been really liking that gelled before, GELD. So we got that. That's really nice because we're coming to an end of a real big sell-off. Now, it could continue, but we're also getting that divergence call on that. A move over 13 would be, well, it doesn't seem out of the question at all. Sorry, I'll do a little research on that tonight, but I might get in it before the end of the day.
See if there's any on it.
Wingnut wants to know, how do you find direct or indirect, etc. info?
It's on that. So if you pull up FinViz, John, and show them, it's in the actual filing.
Yeah.
If you click on the SEC Form 4, the far right-hand column.
So you go to the filing here. You see all these 10% owners. We're going to go to Win Stephen Winnie, and we go all the way over to SEC Form. Click on that. It'll open up. And then right here you'll see... second from the right column. You see ownership form direct or indirect. Ownership form direct or indirect.
The only time I look at an indirect is if it's a great looking chart and or it's a huge insider purchase, whether it's a 10% owner, some investment firm, whatever it is. If they're laying at least $5-10 million on the line to buy the stock or, you know, average down, I start to look at them. The other thing is I look to see who's actually buying it and what their relation is in the industry. For example, in the biotech industry, anytime I see a particular name as being on the board of directors or that they're buying stock, I always take a hard look at it, whether I pull the trigger or not. And that is the Baker Brothers or Baker Brothers Advisors. If you see that, always focus on that one because these guys have their mitts in everything in the biotech world. They're on many boards of directors. They own lots of shares. They have a huge portfolio of biotech companies.
Haynes Brands too. Oh, the choices here.
I've seen enough of them work out with them.
Would you suggest an option play with any of these? Considering if you're looking at maybe a 30-day rule of holding these, or it really depends on what the price is, I guess.
To tell you, I have not found success in the options market with these, with the exception of selling puts that are way out of the money.
Yeah.
And also the very limited options market. It could work against you. If you're betting on a move to the upside and you sell puts that are out of the money that people are not going to be playing in, there's not a lot of volume. If it doesn't get close to that strike price, you will win probably 100% out of the time. But the problem is it's a catch-22 because a lot of these stocks don't have options. A lot of them don't have options that are busy.
And it's so much easier to scale in down here with individual shares. Like you could get in, like these are three of these are candidates right now. Yeah, and you can really repair your trade and consider yourself going to be in before these, and you would expect them to also do the same thing. If it went down lower, you would, if they're buying it, multiple buys, they really like it.
Well, so you bring up a good point. One of the other things, and we'll touch on this when we do it, is you like to see cluster buying. That's one of my favorite insider purchases to buy, meaning when you see multiple officers in the company buying stock, the CFO, the CEO, directors, even the fucking secretaries, when you see them buying stock too, you know they're the last ones to know, even though they're on the inside.
Yeah.
I'd like to look at those. Again, one of my favorite banks, and I don't trade the banks, but my accountant was on the board of BCBP. When they all go in and buy stock,
yep.
I know that's a good sign. So, cluster buying is very important. Do what they're doing, because more than likely they know something that you don't. Remember, insiders sell for all different reasons. Divorce, to pay taxes,
school,
get out of the public eye, wink wink, Nancy Pelosi, which you guys don't even know. She went on record to say that they took a loss, and people said, oh, they did on purpose. Nope. Legislation passed that they outlawed some chips, and right after that, NVIDIA and all the chip makers went down. So don't believe what you read on CNN.
Yeah. Well, some good little bits of information.
Wait, maybe there's more. Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see.
Oh.
Stone Ridge. Small one came out about an hour ago. I'm not even going to look at it because it's an $80 stock almost. So, what is this one? Oof. All right, punch up this one.
Hold on, I'm buying some Hanes.
You what?
I bought some Hanes here. I just bought some Hanes.
Oh, Mazel Tov.
Yeah, picked up 400 shares at 866. Okay. All right, let me get that out, and then I'll bring up that. Let me bring up that chart here. Audio alert coming out. All right, which one are you looking at?
It's too thin. It's indirect.
All right.
Again, not all insiders are created equal. You got to filter through a lot of shit sometimes to get the ones you really want. All right, let's look at this chart. Hold on. All right, so this one, they have a pending lawsuit against Facebook. They're also a application. They're a software company.
All right.
It's IMMR.
IMMR. I've heard of this one before. Immersion. Nice pop today.
So the this chief officer, what is he? Chief strategy officer, saying it's reporting about like $600,000 worth of stock recently. 27% more of his position. Punching up against a rising channel. I don't know. Does this thing bust out and go to 7? Average volume is like 300,000 on a day, so you could move the needle with a small position in this one. Yeah. I wouldn't get crazy because it's a $6 name, but might be something to keep on your radar.
I'm writing it down.
Oh.
All right.
All right, here's one.
Hold on, let me just double check this.
This could be the big one, Dennis.
All right, I'm looking at all these buys here. Chief Strategic Officer here, all indirect probably, right? You said it? But that's still a lot.
Order submitted.
Which is indirect?
Order
the
submitted.
one you just mentioned.
Order filled.
One we're
Order
looking at.
submitted. Order
IMMR?
submitted. Order submitted. Order filled. Order submitted.
What
Order
a 3-minute
submitted.
divergence here. No, there's a lot of buys since August 11th. We have Chief Strategy Officer, Executive Chair, these two guys. Eric Singer. Who's Eric Singer? I know Eric Singer. Isn't he part of some other big companies? I don't know.
I see one that's jumping out at me. It's not for the faint of heart.
Singer had ATEN, so he's just starting to get in on this one. He's been in other things. He's sold a lot of this. Oh, he's been in and out of this a couple times. So you could look at the history of these guys. If you click on the guy's name, you could actually, it'll come up as their history of what they've bought and sold. And if you could see, they've sold, he trades this a bit, it looks like. He's been selling 15, 14, 14, 15, 15, 14. But now he's buying at 5, 5, 5. So
BKNG. All right, buddy. You ready?
Yeah, hit it to me.
Booking.com.
Oh, God.
Listen, I know it's scary. It's $1,800 a share. Something like this may be something you might want to play options on. Granted, this is a first purchase, but it's a brand new purchase by a director. He laid out. Now, granted, it was indirect, but it was $1.8 million, brand new position. If you look at the chart, it's obvious why he chose this point. The bottom of a slide.
Yeah.
I don't really see a weekly divergence set up yet. Looks like the weekly is turning back up. Daily buy divergence, you could argue in this case.
Yeah.
I think this thing drifts back up to 1985, probably, at least.
Good year.
But, no, totally a great year.
All right, yeah, I like it. I like the pullback. Again, you know my style. I like the buying into that weakness and then having the additional benefit of having insiders liking it.
So let's just look at something. Let's look at the options that are coming up this week, just for shits and giggles. So, 1833 is the price. Let's look near the money, at the money. Let's change this to probability. Okay.
I gotta take a look at our Dollar General here moving a bit.
1833. Now, something like this, the booking.com, if you really believe this is how I would play the options if someone was going to do this.
All right.
The first thing I would look at if I was going to trade options on this thing is what's the ATR on this thing.
Yeah.
On any given day, this thing can move 61 points. So let's say, for argument's sake, it's 60.
For those out there, ATR means average true range. The range, the width of that candle, how far it can move.
So what I like to do is, on a stock this big, I really want to give myself some cushion. So sometimes I'll look at a double that move, because I just think catastrophe, right? I always factor in catastrophe. Market takes a shit. We go to war.
Order filled.
Corona
Order
this, Corona
filled.
that, whatever it is, news rules. But I don't want to get caught with my pants down in this situation. Not with a 60 point ATR with 3 days to go. I would go at least 200 points out of the money if I could. So in that case, there's really nothing that far out.
Yeah.
If you win 130 points, you could collect $1 out of the money. You could protect yourself with some fair certainty. But I would wait something like this. I'd wait till you see like a hourly buy divergence, a daily buy divergence, even a 15-minute buy divergence and something like this going in towards the end of the week. that should increase your chances. Again, we don't give a shit where it closes. We don't care where it goes. We want to just bet where it's not going.
Yeah.
And my bet is something like this. I'd choose a level that's outside a Bollinger Band or outside a Kelton channel or way past a support line, just to give yourself a lot more cushion. But again, you're sacrificing profitability for probability of success. So you may not make as much, but the chances of you making money are greater. So don't be afraid to choose something that has a 90% chance of expiring worthless.
Now, I know that Orlando made this comment twice. He thinks that the PE is too high on BKNG, but we don't even look at that at these trades. I mean, these are. I mean, when do you? I don't look at
any fundamental analysis. The only fundamental analysis I will look at when deciding whether or not to buy a stock for a scalp is if there's any accounting irregularities.
Yeah.
If there's accounting irregularities, I stay the fuck away. There's thousands of other stocks to pick in its place to trade. And with a tight stop, you should not be involved in something that's going down.
Yeah.
So, and don't forget, news rules. Hello, cutie. Damn, I got the best view, John.
Oh, nice. I got to get down there.
Order filled.
Well, you come to Spring Lake, you're in the town next over. You don't even come visit.
I know. I didn't know that. I'll know next time. We're going to try to get to Spring Lake again next year. So, but you'll be up here before that. I want to set up something. You could come up. We could do our option show. We'll have a good time.
Well, we were talking last week about getting together for lunch. Anthony had already plans. You were on a tight schedule.
Yeah, it was really tough last week. I think it'll start to open up.
I think we could do a late lunch.
Yeah.
Stick around, do a show.
Yep.
Maybe watch Wall Street.
Yep.
Have a couple cocktails. And I don't even really drink, but I will be social.
Definitely. So
other herbal remedies.
I will definitely plan it out and see what we can do with this. SHP.
Order filled.
I'll revamp this thing.
Yeah, no, the information we went over today was just fantastic. It's just you have so many good little gems of information that help, and we don't even, unless you're coming on. I mean, there's so many different things that we could look at. This is great when we get a good insider buy on a good stock that fits the criteria for divergences. I mean, it's like the, bonus. It's like a bonus round you get.
Listen, I equate this, if you're a golfer, to going out golfing and you get that one good shot that just keeps you coming back. You hit 100 bad shots, but you get that one that you felt really good and really flawless and effortless. That's what keeps you coming back, because I promise you're going to get an insider that's going to, make you 20, 30% in a matter of hours, and you're going to go, oh my God, how the hell didn't I know this before? So,
all right.
Listen, I only try to point out the things that I found make money the most consistently.
Now, do you remember the ones we went over here? We have
HBI,
JELD, SRI, WEST, KDNY, Booking, IMMR. We went over quite a few. Any of them make your blood tingle? Like, really, I'm going to have to take advantage of this one, too. I jumped right in on the Haynes because I like the brand name. They own Champion, I think. Here's
one that's grabbing me. Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson, all right. A good old hog.
Now, why the fuck would this guy be buying it with the end of summer? I mean, I guess it's warm in other areas. It's not going to be warm in New Jersey.
No.
Well, it might probably be balmy the way it's been the past year.
Sometimes I always think of it the same way. Like, I don't want to buy certain stocks that are like, why am I buying Polaris in the summertime? You're a snowmobile stock.
You're not buying it. You're not going ATV in.
Order filled.
If you live in Arizona, you might be.
Big pop here, Dollar General here, really ripping here.
So, Johnny.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson. Stock is $39. He bought it at almost $39. President and CEO. $1 million.
Is this recently? Just recent? Because I got a nice pop this morning.
Yeah. So, September 6th. So yesterday, after the close, it was announced. Guys are probably buying it after hours, pre-market.
It's a divergence.
So, I mean, granted, it's slightly off the highs, right? That's a good sign, John.
Yeah.
Guys buying it near the highs at the end of the summer, laying it out of his pocket. He owns 508,000 shares. That's a significant position. But again, I don't know how much this fucking guy makes a year, but to lay $1 million out of his pocket when the stock's trading at $39, he may know something. Do we know that for a fact? No, but I'm willing to bet with him. Something like this. Let's see if there's any options on this thing. Well, first, again, what's the first thing I do if I'm qualifying it for options? I want to see what the volume is. I want to see what the volume's 1.25 million a day. That's good. ATR is only $1. Well, I'm betting the options market isn't going to give you much with an ATR of just $1, but
no, it is very light volume too.
2 days, an at the money call, and
it's crapola. 39, 75 to 90 cents. It's 20%, 20-cent spread. 12 contracts. 78.
39. Yeah, so I don't know. You go out a little further out. Let's look out 9 days. Fuck it. Let's even go out 2 weeks.
Yeah, no volume. No contracts traded at all.
Yeah. So even 9 days out, you think this thing's going to move 10 points in 9 days against you?
Oh.
Maybe.
10 points? No, I don't. 10 points brings it down to underneath $30? No.
Again.
So, all right. So, I want to say no. Well,
right. So, that might be something you would consider. I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
But again, if you have an insider behind you, I can't think of a better reason to buy a stock, regardless.
Oh, market here. Nice pop to the highs. Sorry, tight stops.
No, I was going to say, whether it's at a support line, a fib, a Keltner, a Bollinger Band, outside of that, the only time I would probably buy a stock in the middle of a range is if I knew something.
Yeah.
So, granted, insiders aren't always right, but I'm willing to bet with them.
I like to just point out.
I don't stick around for the long haul, though. Many times I won't hold it for a month. I'll get out after it goes up 20%. It'll go up another 100% my face.
Yep. Yeah.
But again, if you have a bigger account and you don't have a problem with holding and you're of the buy and hold mentality, an insider is pretty much a safe bet. And I'll tell you why. There's a rule. It's 10B15-A, I think. I can't remember. It's been so fucking long, but.
Hello? He's on hold. Hold on. I think I put him on hold. Holy crap. He's hello? Hello?
A call came in, John.
Oh, that was you. All right, sorry.
So my point was there's that rule that says that an insider, if he buys stock, he has to hold it for 6 months. Or he has to give those proceeds back.
Yes.
So that's why the real strategy is I always shop for a month because I found they always highlighted the 1 month return. But now knowing that rule, I'd be more inclined to hold it for longer because think about it this way. If a guy buys stock, remember when Steve Wynn bought all that fucking stock and the next day the stock was up like, I don't know.
Yeah.
However much it was up is like 8% or 9%. That doesn't happen normally. You know what I mean? These guys don't want to let on that they've been buying stock sometimes, and then 2 quarters later, all of a sudden, 6 months later, boom, a merger comes out, or a deal, or a new contract, or new patent, whatever it is. And you're like, that guy was buying 6 months ago, knowing that he couldn't sell it for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
So keep those things in mind. A lot of times you're in first, because a lot of times somebody, especially a stock that's been in a downtrend, when news like this comes out, there's just some people that just want out. They've had enough. They can't take the pain anymore. They're already taking a beating. I just want to sell this shit and buy Bitcoin. So they go ahead and sell it, and the stock is under pressure for 2-3 days. And you'll see me point out, and I watch the tape like a hawk sometimes, especially in the stocks I'm trading. And I'll watch the tape, and I'll wait, and I'll say, big seller just got cleaned up. The market maker's been leaning on this for a week. I'm sitting here watching the prints. I can see they cleaned up an odd amount. That's usually an indicator that the seller is done for the time being, and the stock usually lifts.
What do you think? We got a member in the room here. If you get Jerry Jr. asking about Riley. What do you think about insider buying in Riley? Apparently there's some here.
Let's see. I didn't get past Hog, but...
All right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. That's got sidetracked there.
So, again, it's near the highs. It's the end of the summer. Guy just laid $1 million out of his pocket. He owns 500,000 shares. But, that's a significant purchase. I don't know how much the CEO of Harley makes. I'm sure it's a few $1 million a year, but...
Easy, right? I wonder if they're coming out with the electric motorcycle. I mean, what does Wingnut think? Wingnut's our motorcycle man on the site. Is Harley Davidson? Would you consider Harley Davidson a buy? Is the brand getting more popular, or is it getting older? Is it just getting overtaken by other things? Is it going to compete? I mean, I'm not a motorcycle man anymore.
I've never been a motorcycle guy, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, but I've always
liked. Just make sure we didn't miss any.
Current estimate worth of Harley Davidson's president and CEO. Thank you, Bay Street Trader. Thank you for doing that and going out of your way and getting me that information. I really appreciate it. Joe Shinzig's largest sale order was 2,230 units, worth over 117,000 on August 2nd. In total, Joe was made about 34 transactions of the year to Harley Davidson. Oh, so this guy's trading his stock. But yeah, Wingnut doesn't ride Harleys, but you're in the motorcycle. He's up at Sturgis all the time.
John, can you punch this one up?
Yeah.
And this is just a learning example. And we'll highlight this again. Ticker is Mary Edward David Paul. On the surface, it looks like this guy bought over $13 million worth of stock. He's the CEO. You'd say, this is probably huge. Well, there's one thing. He already owns 5.6 million shares, and he ended up buying another 90,000 shares at 145 approximately. But the devil is in the detail. If you look at the Form 4, you would think this is a huge purchase by a CEO. Well, the purchases reported on this Form 4 were effected pursuant to a Rule 10b-5-1 trading plan adopted by MedPace investors. This guy just had a planned purchase.
Yes.
This is not significant. The amount is significant, granted, but I wouldn't put as much credence in this because it was already determined. Now, are people going to buy it ahead of this, knowing that going forward over, say, the next 11 months, he might be buying it on, continuing to buy? We don't know.
But again, it's not up there, right? It's not up there on your list, planned purchases. It doesn't really give you that special, when people pull the money out of their own pocket and put their own money up at risk.
Correct.
And they're not making a lot of money.
If they are taking money out of there, it's like,
Well, there should be a formula on some of these things, like how much does the I guess you're getting really into it and you want to do your due diligence, you do go and you find out how much the CEO makes and what type of bills or expenses where he lives, maybe his house, does he have how much money he has.
Yahoo Finance will tell you exactly how much these guys make a year.
Yeah, how much they make a year, but what is their, maybe maybe they're trust fund kids, or who knows, maybe they own other companies and they could afford to throw around this money. I want to know exactly, hey, this is a major buy for him because he doesn't have this money to buy things. He's got to be pretty sure of something. That's great information once you get it.
So,
that's Bud Fox type of research.
Point being, there's a guy I went to high school with. I should know how much this guy makes a year, but guess what? He's head of a biotech company. It's a no-name company. You've never heard of it. And I actually know that he was buying stock on weakness in this thing. And I know this guy makes a nice chunk of change, and relative to what he was buying in the marketplace versus what he was making, I was like, this is pennies. I would stay away from this.
Yeah.
Needless to say, the guy's no longer at that company. But if Eddie Lampert was my neighbor and he was buying Sears Holdings at $52 or $58 prior to all of the restructuring with the debt and the bondholders and stuff, that was that was a real estate play. Kmart. That was not an insider purchase play. That was a real estate thing. So there's much smarter guys on Wall Street. I just know how to pick them out, the signals.
Yeah, that's excellent. An expert at what you do. MEDP here, really grinding higher on a mission.
Again, that's kind of a thin stock, right?
Yeah.
So not necessarily thin, but I don't know, a lot of these. Oh, that's the other thing too, is a lot of people shy away from some of these thinner stocks. Some of these illiquid names are really going to give you the move that you're looking for.
This one has a float of 620,000 shares. The float.
What's the institutional ownership in it, though?
I don't have that on my. I just have that on my chart, but I would have to look that up. Let's take a look.
Let me look.
It should be right there on Finviz.
Yep. MEDP. Mid-piece. Shares outstanding, 32.5 million. Share float. Insiders own 20% of the company.
Yeah, 24 million float. Shares 7%. That's a lot.
Insiders own 20% of the company. Institutions own 87, almost 88% of the company. That's a good thing in my eyes.
It says 24.63 million on the
the
float.
ones that are going to move this thing.
Has a different number than I have on this TD Ameritrade. Can't really tell which is real.
MEDP?
MEDP. Yeah, my it says latest float says 620,000, but that's probably not correct then.
No, but the thing that jumps out at me the most on that Finviz screen is the fact that institutional holders own almost 88% of the stock. That's a good thing. If you get an insider in or significantly by institutions, that's a good thing. Because again, institutions are what's really going to move these. You and I buying 1,000 fucking shares in some of these stocks, it may move the needle. In others, it's not even going to be a spit in a bucket.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any other ones that jump out on us. At us. Insiders. And again, we're only concerned with the buys. Why? Well, we know they sell for all different reasons, but they only buy for one reason, and that's they expect it to go up. Ash. All right. Here's another big one.
All right, another one
Let's see. Let's look at this first. We'll look at the stock.
I'm going to take a look at my Hanes brands here and see how that's holding up.
Ooh. Oh, it's insider transactions 329%. That's good. Institutional ownership 97, almost 98%. Love that. It's in one of my favorite spaces because this is the wave of the future, my man.
Cannabis?
It's Ashland.
Oh, Ashland. ASH. Oh, it's moving nice.
Chemicals are the way to go, man.
Yeah, another one that's on the lower part of the channel. The momentum is shifted. You have a good reversal candle. You're on the 200 period moving average. You have everything looking good here.
All right, so on the surface, it looks great, right?
Yeah.
Directors buying stock. Let's see what happens. Let's look at the Form 4 from yesterday.
All right.
Rebalancing transactions in which eminence funds and SMAs purchased and sold the common stock among themselves with no change in the aggregate number of shares of common stock.
Well, that sounds kind of...
Sir, Eminence Capital serves as the management company or investment advisor to and may deemed to have shared voting and dispositive power, or disposing power, basically, over the shares of common stock. This has got some hair on it. Stay the fuck away from it. They might have moved it from one fund into another. I don't know. But when you see the buy and sell together, same price, same number of shares, it's got hair on it. It's either an exercise, it's some kind of swap going on, it's diluting it in one account and buying it in another one just to transfer it, so it's like a journal. Stay away from that. Good example, huge purchase. Don't want you to be misled and jump out and run out and buy this one, because that one's got what we call some hair on it. We want to stay away from that.
Nice.
Let's look at this. Ash. Great company, though. Huge institutional ownership. Love to see that. Let's see this. Biotech stock. Ooh, Johnny, this is one for you.
All right, let's bring it up.
It's a cheapie. It's a cheapie. It's Huma. H as in Henry, U as in uncle, M as in Mary, A as in apple. Huma.
It's
not a Huma.
Nice price on that. $4 price. Was probably was a SPAC. Looks like it came public around that $10 level, was sideways until they did a deal. Then it de-SPAC'd and then it came all the way back down. So yeah,
so it's a brand new purchase, John, and made in two purchases, totaling close to $500,000. But let's look at the Form 4s on each one of them. First one was a direct purchase. I love that fact. Let's look at the other one that he purchased a day before. September 1st, he bought a smaller purchase, but it was still, in fact, just make sure it was direct. That one was also direct. All right, so again, I don't know how much Gordon Binder makes, but he's a director in the company of this biotech firm, and he just laid.
Did he buy it on the? Was it released on the first?
Out of his pocket.
The first or the second was the?
It was on the first and the second.
Yeah, so you can see. Yeah, so it was about 350. It ran up all day, and then it gapped up, probably another one, and then it's been drifting here, but it's holding up pretty good at this point. So there's a little pullback after the initial popped up to 475.
Okay, so you got to remember, too, these guys have 3 days to report the trade as insiders in the company. So many times what you'll see is, like I said, you'll see cluster buying. You may see these guys buy stock 3, 4, 5 times over a couple-week period. Then you see the CFO. Then you see the head of research. Then you see the senior VP of strategic acquisitions. He goes in and buys stock. Again, cluster buying over a period of days, always great signs. New positions initiated, one of my favorite things ever. CFO buying, one of my favorite things ever. All pearls of wisdom for you right there.
Awesome. Oh, that's good stuff.
Don't say nothing in life is free.
Yes. Become a member here at Day Trading Radio. support
Get
the
all the
site.
shit for free.
Support the site. Rob, the stuff you drop in here today is awesome. People appreciate it.
There's still more I'm betting. I'm quickly scanning because there's, and that's the other thing too is, again, when the market's been selling off, you will see lots of stocks, especially in the same industry. If you see the fucking gold miners start buying stock for whatever reason, it's usually industry wide. You see the auto part makers buying stock, it's usually across the board. You see chip makers, you see any nuance or any niche of technology. If you see insiders, you'll see more. Again, I don't really focus on REITs because they just don't have the moves that I'm looking for. A lot of times they don't move because people are just buying them for the, for the yield. But again, the guys that manage these portfolios, they're buying them as well. Let's see. What else? SRI. This is one I used to actually make a market in. Let me see what this thing's doing. SYS.
Baker Boy wants to clarify. He says that insiders must hold for 6 months.
Correct.
Yeah.
If they don't, they have to give back the proceeds. That would look really shitty if you were a CEO and you made money and you had to give it back because you acted on some non-material piece of information. That would really shatter your credibility as a CEO, wouldn't you say?
What
would you ever invest in a company?
No, not especially.
The CEO bought stock and he had to give stock back, or he had to give the money back because he acted.
Yeah. Greedy son of a bee.
Bastards.
Yeah. Do you question for my? I think people would benefit from this if you have any recollection, memory of any good CEOs that you always look for, like. You mentioned the Baker boys. I mean, so Jamie Dimon.
Baker brothers are usually board members.
Yeah.
Of all of the stuff they get involved in, I think that's their way of detaching them from any kind of wrongdoing. Steve Wynn, always great to follow. It used to be before he died. Aubrey McClendon, you remember, met his untimely demise. Chesapeake Energy.
Yes. Yeah.
He was always a lock. Anytime he bought stock, it was a lock. Eddie Lampert from Sears Holdings, and what's his name? I forget his name. Jesus. He was so pertinent in my life, and his name eludes me. And I only remember his crony. God, this is going to kill me. Don't tell me. I'll come up with it. Let's see.
So we have
actually,
that's fine. I'm not even caring. I don't even care about the Apple event. It's more important. Oh, Snowflake, nuts. Eddie Lampert.
Yeah, who was the other guy though with him?
Was he an Indian guy? Ron Barron? No.
No. It was there was another guy too, and I used to follow the two of them.
I'm taking off my headphones just for a second. Hold on, Rob.
Yeah, man.
Market here, popping here further. And I apologize. I know. Well, we got some Fed speak going on right now. Really moving this market around.
John, I can't stand it, but my friend went to see Rammstein last night.
Oh, I saw them. I mean, I didn't see them. I did see them.
He said it was awesome.
I did see them posted on my my ticket site.
Johnny.
Henry Rollins is going to be performing over here somewhere. Henry Rollins is going to be doing spoken word.
Seen it a couple times. Not worth your time.
No, I've heard
I'll
that.
tell you what you do want to see though next week. Clutch, Helmet, and Quicksand all playing together in New York City. I'm actually contemplating going to Toronto to see them on the 13th. The 16th they're playing in Manhattan, and 17th they're doing a live stream free concert. So, if you don't join me on the 16th, I would definitely check out the live stream on the 17th.
Yeah, you turn me on to them.
If anybody wants to meet me in Manhattan, I'm going.
Oh, that's good to know. When's that? The 17th?
The 16th is in Manhattan. The 13th is in Toronto. And the 17th is a live stream.
16th.
In the comfort of your own home.
I like their live streams. He's good. He's a working class hero, that guy.
He really is, man. I don't agree with some of his political statements, but...
What is he? What is he?
He's fucking liberal, CNN bullshit. You know.
Right. I was reading an article last night.
They watch the fake news, unfortunately. Like many of my musician friends, because they don't know any better. But,
well,
but regardless, yeah, just solid rock and roll stars. Nicest guys you ever want to meet, too. But again, other bands on that bill, Helmet, one of my all-time favorites. You can play that, man.
Yeah, I'm going to play a Helmet after this when we switch over to Paul. I apologize, but I love the information we're getting today. I'm sure Paul doesn't mind.
Let me just make sure there's no... so the other thing I did notice, John, and this is something that it may be as you ease into learning about the insiders... On FinViz, they actually have much on that main page. They give you some of the top insider trading for the week.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good place to start because usually those are ones that jump out at you. But again, you have to qualify them.
Yeah. So
Ashland's on there, but that's very deceptive.
So again, right? We're going to go to Insider right here.
That's not one you want to do.
If you go to Insider,
look, they spent $22 million and bought stock. Yes, they did. But it was some kind of like swap out of one fund into another.
No, that was great. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't even realize. Look at that. Here's the main page of the FinViz, just to show you what we're looking at here. We typically go to buy transactions. So you go over to the filter, buy transactions. Up here, it'll say top insider trading for the recent week and top 10% owners. So click on the top insiders for the recent week, and it'll just throw these out. It'll show you all the buys, and then you go down, and you like Rob said, you pick the ones you maybe know, and then you dig down a little deeper, like booking, and I see the booking, and I see the Harley Davidson. He's making his way down, and we're going over it. I see Cabo on the list. That Cabo was a that's Cable One. Why did I think that was something else? Joe Ford from West.
John, the other thing you can do is you can go to on that main page up at the top, the tabs, choose screener.
Yes.
And the signal you can set to recent insider buys, and it'll point them out, and then you can punch on each individual ticker, especially. And look, notice on here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. On that initial first scan, out of all those first, 10 stocks?
Yeah.
No, 20 stocks. 5 of them are banks. There's 2 auto parts on there.
Yep.
There's 2 oil and gas. There's 2 different drug manufacturers and a medical device company and a medical care facility. Again, you get cluster buying sometimes, not only in a stock, but in the specific industry or
sector
niche that they're in. And again, so that's just the first page. Out of the first 20, let's say how many of these are banks. I don't like the banks. Second page, there's 1, 2. There's 2 banks. There's 2 biotech companies. Couple software application. Manufacturing. Let's go to page 3. Biotech. Mortgages, advertising, home improvement. This is a potpourri of stuff. Chemicals, biotech, semiconductors. That's great. But again, a lot of times you see cluster buying in the sector.
Yeah.
Look at this page. You got 4 banks right in a row. Regional banks. There's another one. That's 5, 6. I'm not a banking fan, but if all the fucking bankers or all the financial institutions are buying banks in a recessionary environment when the shit's about to hit the fan, I don't know. Makes me take notice.
Yeah.
Again, this is not the holy grail, but one of the most consistent strategies I've found for making money. Divergences, morning gaps, and insider purchases, and selling puts in a bull market. My best and greatest ideas for making money.
I want to do one last thing with you here, just to break down one, because I think it show us some things that we don't want to pay attention to. Positives and negatives. Now, a lot of people mention Riley. I clicked on the Riley.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to look. Hold on.
And the Riley's interesting.
I'm so sorry, Jerry. Is it O'Reilly?
No, it's Riley is the symbol RILY.
Oh, B. Riley Financial. All right, let's look at this one. Here's your case study, Jerry.
Yeah. Let's break this one down because I see a lot of shares like 25,000. Do we want to look for odd amount of shares or odd amount of money, or like can we tell? We could probably tell more likely they're going to be indirect buys are going to be certain standard, maybe 100,000 shares or 10,000 shares, 25,000, or do they put as much money they can buy into and get a random amount of shares?
That would be a question for each individual insider. I mean, they have all different reasons. They may have a set amount, and after commissions, that's all they could buy, and it turns out to be a round number. Or they just buy it, not giving a shit what the price is or what the commissions are. They just want in. It all depends. Again, if you start seeing similar prices, a lot of times that may tip you off that it was a planned purchase. So be careful of that. Whereas they do give out their purchases in the open market to a broker, and the broker will buy it. And there are requirements for buying insider purchases sometimes.
I see the first this guy. Oh, go ahead.
Because I used to do buybacks for companies.
Yeah. But
buyback is different than an actual open market purchase. So keep that in mind. It may just be a buyback going on, but that should not be reported in that case. I don't believe.
We have the first.
But again, just always do your due diligence. So back to the Riley. Institutional ownerships at 50%. Like that. $48 name. Looking at a chart, I'm thinking this thing goes back down to 40. I'm looking at the recent news in the thing. Talking about closing on a acquisition they made. What's this say? Declared a dividend. That's a good thing. Director just bought 20% more shares. That's hit the tape.
Hold on, Rob. Stop. Look at this. I have on my notes here. We talked about this in 2021. Cluster buying insiders on March 2nd. Earnings. Cluster buying insiders. March 2nd was the earnings. I have it marked off. I went all the way out. That was probably around $35. Something.
Wait. No, you have in your notes back in 2021. We saw an insider in this, and you marked that it was.
Yeah, I mark all your insiders. So right here, I have it marked right here on that gap up. It was at $50.45. Cluster buying insiders March 2nd from earnings, after earnings. And from that point on, in 2021, of course, the market really went up. And it went up pretty much to June, pulled back, and then actually topped out right at the beginning of January. From that point on.
But you had 15 points in that run?
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
So wait, so it was March. What was that date? Do you remember?
I'll tell you exactly. It was January 15th, 2021. Around there.
All right, let's go back to let me go back to the weekly for this. Just curious.
And then I think I put down that March 2nd was earnings. So I just wanted to let people know that earnings were coming up on March 2nd, which it did gap up. So remember, this was the case where we've noticed it, and I was like, wow, we're pretty close to earnings. Well, we're a couple months away from earnings, and they bought stock, and that's what caused it to gap up.
John, and I'm looking at the weekly. In January, the stock was at 40, 2021.
Yeah, I have it right here. I'm going to zoom in. I remember this now.
Yeah, January 2021. There's a hammer on a weekly candle at 40, and the stock ran.
January 14th is where I circled it, and that's where we discussed it. And then from that point on, it kind of went sideways. But in February, it got up to, it did take off. I mean, that price at the time was at $50. And it eventually got up to about $70, $67.
John, 15 months later, the stock was up more than double. It was up 50 points.
Yeah, look at that.
In a year's time.
Yeah.
Not bad, kid, right?
No. So now we're back at that. We're underneath that level back then. I mean, I want to circle it.
Okay. Worst trade ever, and I'm going to give it to you, and I'm proud to tell you. I can't remember a lot of the winners, but I always remember the losers because there's so few that are as catastrophic as this. I got juked by a market maker, actually a specialist on the New York Stock Exchange, because I made the mistake. I bought an insider in Humana way back when, and I still remember the price. So if you go and look at a monthly chart, I'm embarrassed to say you'll be able to tell when it happened. I bought the stock at $40 on an insider purchase. I was watching it, wasn't moving. There was a huge seller out there. I left my stop order on the books. The specialist took me out at $38, which was my stop. It never saw that level ever again after I got stopped out. At the open. Look at the price of Humana stock now. It was a long time ago. But that's one for your buy and hold, kids.
Shall I look at on the weekly, or where are we going here with this one?
If you could do a weekly or a monthly, it goes back years.
Yeah, I could do.
But Humana was $40 at the time. I got stopped at $38, and that was the actual bottom.
Oh my God, yeah. All right, I have to go by. I would have to zoom in and stuff. I want to take your. So that was 2009 or something, or maybe no.
Further back.
What price were you?
$38. Well, $40. I bought it and got stopped out at $38.
All right.
I want to say it was all the way back to like 2001.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, it's just.
But again,
it's an ugly chart.
good buy and hold for you from $40 to $400 in 20 years. The monthly chart of that looks like Sherwin-Williams.
Yeah.
Another. Same thing. Sold naked puts at $150. Made 5 points. Thought I was a champ.
Breaking news here: the Apple phone now will cover menstruation cycles and ovulation data. Raise the price. They're reaching now. They're reaching.
Oh my God, John! So many. So just for those of you who have trouble scalping and can't find your footing with scalping and that day-to-day grind like this, insiders may be the way for you to go if you like that more hands-off approach and let things work. And if you want to further enhance your gains in these trades by selling options against it or buying protection or doing what you have to do if it warrants it.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent topic also. We should hit on that. We'll hit on all. We'll kind of do a fast review of this, an upcoming week or so when we do get together and we do this show. And then we could also tell how to protect yourself with those.
And John, for the listeners, Johnny actually recorded a couple of shows on insiders. I think one of them I did with RPM and one of them I did with you, John.
We got great information. If you go to the members forum on your dashboard and go to special shows, you'll see tight stops and options. Just do a search up there. And believe it or not, I've recorded this segment too, so we have a lot of good information on this.
And the other thing is it's a good thing to listen to before we actually do the show, because it'll give you a little primer.
Yes,
I don't understand what he said here. Maybe I can ask that question. He can expand on it or further clarify.
You know what? You're 100% right, because we do, sometimes jump into it expecting people to know everything about even the abbreviations and stuff.
One of the hardest things ever was Keldar and I trying to figure out a options presentation that could help everybody without
making it too boring.
Thing matters, and options are so difficult from a 30,000 foot view.
Yeah.
Even,
So you're going to sign in here for those out there and members here. Go to your forums, click on forum, and then you're gonna see this. And if it doesn't allow you, and just put in your username and password, and you're going to see this great forum here. All kinds of, you have the playbook trades, all the trades we take, all the playbook signal, what to look for. But the real good stuff here is, let me see. We have a lot of stuff in here, so I want to find special interviews, trader spotlight, live option shows. So just scroll down, you'll see option shows. Oh, we're doing option shows. We're talking insiders, right?
Yeah.
Special interviews. Let me double check.
I think it actually says insiders.
Oh yeah, I think so. I'll do a search here.
Order submitted.
I might have put it on my page one time.
Insiders. Oh yeah.
It's been so long, John. I don't even.
Facebook.
When my ex and I split, I didn't even go back.
Insider info. It was right there on the top. Interviewed by DTRS.
Oh, look at that.
That's in 2015. Right there. Jack Swagger interview. Martin Pring interview. Guy in a Buffalo interview.
Guy in a Buffalo. Hold on. Tight stops insiders.
I'll just put tight and see what comes up. We have an open roundtable with tight stops Anthony, J-Dub, Dak, and myself. That was a good one. Implied volatility and effects on option prices. Trading crude. Oh, it's there. You have to go through it. There's a lot of information there. Carl, where's today's interview? It's going on right now. It's going on right now. So when Rob leaves, I'll stop the recording, and then I'll save it, and then I'll post it to the members later on when I compress it and put it into a format. But I do have the information, so you'll have it before tonight's over.
What's this one? Hold on. Tight stops trader spotlight on Day Trading Radio 5 years ago. Oh, this might have been RPM talking about inside.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, we just got a smackdown at SHPH. So we got the Apple event going on. We're not really following that. And we'll keep it on ear out for that.
Order filled. Order canceled.
Oh, that was just
Order canceled.
strategies, John, for making quick short-term profits. That one with Paul. There was another one though on actually. We did an insider show, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we did.
We did. I did one, I think, with Paul though too.
Right. We'll dig it out. I'll dig it out. I definitely have it saved somewhere. It might also be on DayTrader Radio YouTube channel. I'll have to look at that. Mo Money, Michael, I just got your text. He sent me a picture. It's so funny. A GIF this guy posted about some explosions and people running around. And this lady jumping off the thing. And that was Dawit's last name. Whoever posted that, it was Efren. I said, is that from Dawit? What do you mean, James Efren Sr.? What is that? I said, that's Dawit's name.
Videos. A lot of cooking videos, though.
Oh, that's right. You had your cooking videos. That was great.
John, I haven't done a cooking video since the divorce, man.
Rob used to do trading in cooking videos, or at least hanging out in cooking videos. And I think his son was holding the iPad up.
Yeah.
And you'd be cooking. It was great. They're all on the forum too. So if you
and you guys suck. Let me just go on record. So for all the listeners, John had said something, to the listeners. He goes, we all have different interests outside of trading. I love to fish. Rob loves to cook. I love cooking too. You're like, we should do a cooking segment. Oh yeah, we'll call it Trader's Kitchen. Oh yeah, that sounds fantastic. We'll all do a meal. Wouldn't you know I'm the only stupid motherfucker that put 11 different videos on there and nobody else contributed?
Trader's Kitchen. That's right. Oh God.
And the theme song was the best.
Do we have a?
Do you remember?
No. What's the theme song?
Black Uhuru.
Oh, all right.
Coming to dinner, naughty dreadlock.
Oh God.
But for those of you that have never heard a Trader's Kitchen, this was the theme song.
Yeah. Do you have it? You playing it? We should bring that back. Wink, wink. I was gonna play some Helmet, but now I'll play some.
Black Uhuru, baby. So the other day, John, I was cooking for my kids, and I'm embarrassed to say my old memory, my short-term memory, for lack of a better word, is gone in some cases.
Yeah.
So I was watching my own video to just confirm the ingredients, and my son goes, "Is that Trader's Kitchen?" That was years ago, man. I didn't even think he remembered.
Guess. Wait, why am I not seeing it? Hold on.
Black Uhuru.
Yeah, Sinsemelia, Sons of Reggae, Top Ranking, Youth of Shine Eye Girl. I thought Who's Coming to Dinner is one of their favorite ones, or one of my favorite ones.
It is.
And it was from the movie The Mighty Quinn.
No, album by Black Uhuru. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
All right, hold on.
Appropriate for a pothead cooking for his family with that theme song playing.
Here we go. Put it on. This is the theme. You want? I don't know if you can.
Charger comes with precision dual frequency GPS.
Oh, GPS. Ooh, wee. Let me see. Yeah, it's Trader Kitchen Man with your host, Tight Stops. Today's special meal will be Alfredo, linguine Alfredo with, I don't know, what was some of your favorites? You had one that you always loved to cook. What's your one that you when you have a date and you have you make it?
Well, there's a lock when it comes to dates. Guarantee, if I make eggplant rollatini, they're coming for dinner. If I make apple crisp for dessert, they're staying
for breakfast.
I'm having breakfast the next day, more than likely.
Yeah,
I'm just that kind of guy. Shrimp scampi, a huge win with the ladies.
Oh, that's what you got to make. We're going to bring a hot plate in here, and we should do some shrimp scampi.
Oh my God, shrimp scampi, easy meal. Marsala, a little more involved. Some of the other ones I make, easy for traders to make.
Well, there you go. All this information on your. You just have to do a search for Trader Kitchen in the forum.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple.
My best advice for single guys: learn to cook.
Learn to cook. Yes, absolutely.
Hands down. I just love to eat. I should weigh 400 pounds the way I eat, but I've been eating a lot healthier these days.
Why am I not seeing it? Hold on. How do you spell kitchen? Kitchen, right? No?
Trader's Kitchen. It's okay. We'll do some new videos.
You're there. Anyway, they're here. There's a lot of things you got to look for them. I can't believe that Trader's Kitchen. Rainmakers Roundtable, Bry Guys Breaking Briefs, Tools of the Trade, Trader Spotlight, RPM is Tech Talk Live, Mr. Top Step, Off Limits, Cash Close Contest, DTR Member Showcase, Moderators, Playbook, Trading Discussion, Getting to Know D Resources. All right, well. All right. I'll cut off the interview now so it doesn't get too long, too much dead air. So I want to say,
we're gonna, like I said, try to put some stuff together. I want to find the old video just to be clarified some of the stuff we went over. I know I have notes here somewhere.
No, we have the videos. They just have to do the right search. It's under one of the specialized shows.
I remember seeing it in the forum one time. It was a weird way of getting to it, but I do remember seeing it, or Paul sent it to me.
Well, give me something to send out with this video. I'll send out the links to it.
Yeah, at least the old one.
Yeah.
The old one, which is a primer, and we'll try to touch on.
We
will touch on all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be good. So I want to set that up, hopefully for next week. But you have to let me know what's good.
Usually Tuesdays or Thursdays I cook for the kids.
Yeah.
Probably Thursday, just with school starting and stuff. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We can do it Tuesday. I'll cook for my kids on like Thursday or something.
All right. All right.
Do you want to Tuesday? Maybe we'll get Wall Street queued up.
Yeah.
Come. We'll have some lunch, dinner, whatever.
Right. Sounds good.
Get Anthony.
Yeah, we're gonna have a blast.
Maybe the boys are in town. I miss Dak too, man.
Yeah, I have been.
I miss his level-headedness.
Yeah, I call him my anchor.
He's the anchor, but he's the voice of reason.
Yes, keeps me.
He's the peace.
Keeps me grounded. Great guy. I feel bad. I haven't talked to him in like almost a month, I think, and that's not like me. We always talk every week, but I just got off kiltered this last month. I got so busy with the vacation and stuff. Now he's probably going to give me the cold shoulder.
Well, listen, man, whole new life for him, right?
Yeah.
New dig, new family, settling in. He'll be boring like the rest of us.
All right, and before I hit the pause here, I want to just say, look for the special options show coming up next week. All right, members only.
Oh, insiders.
Insider information.
We will touch on options if they can be used in
Yes.
cases. We'll find some examples.
Yeah.